And there we go, the start of a stream. Yet another incredibly dramatic. For a second there, I did not think we were going to be working today. Something. I started up my stream a few minutes ago. I wasn't late. I'm slightly late. I started my stream at 11:30. Launched OBS and noticed I was getting no audio from my audio mixer. Zero audio. And that is a problem because I need to have audio to, talk to people. But yeah, no audio. There was game audio, but no audio from my mixer. So I rebooted, but then I said that maybe I leave my mixer on all the time for various reasons. Maybe I should turn it off and turn it on again. Because it wasn't an OBS issue. There was no sound and no connection effectively because it's a digital connection with my mixer, which is sitting, you can't see it really, except when, and you can't really see it. But it is what it is. I see the meter moving approximately in response to the fact that I am speaking. And I believe that means that there is a audio. If Hobie Gal is checking in at all, I did listen to yesterday's broadcast, a recording of my live YouTube stream. Didn't seem to find any audio issues. So it means it kind of made it out to YouTube without any issues. It doesn't mean that it's not anything really, that it's not an issue. It just doesn't mean it's probably likely anything I can fix. So I don't know what to say about that, but I think most people are probably able to hear my broadcast okay. And most important thing is, for me at least, is that I as a streamer, I spend a certain amount of time watching my own streams. It's not pleasant, but it's not the whole stream, but parts of it, both the flying side. When I play, I watch a little bit myself doing the big brain games, which is the middle segment. I skip entirely over the mid roll. After the mid roll, of course, today will be the Ken's Piano Lounge, I believe. Oh, there'll be Diet Coke. What was I talking about? I forgot. I'm just introducing the show now. It's just Diet Coke. What do you want? It's really good, though. Get some right now. Oh, my God. It's so good. I mean, that they can put so much flavor in something that passes right through your body without any, hopefully at least, without doing a whole lot of damage. I don't know. According to some people, that's probably not accurate, that statement I just made. All right, let's see. Let's talk about today's stream. No, I already did introduce the stream. It's a Wednesday stream. It probably won't be going too long. Probably hitting the hour and 45-minute mark at the max. Or so. Why not? Again, we'll get into the flying soon. I don't know where we're going to go. I don't know where we're going to fly in. Although let's just pick the Osprey. It's such a, people who haven't seen it before. Like, there's got to be somewhere who hasn't seen me fly around in my Osprey. Let me put it that way. And it's always fun. Where we go, that's another question. Don't know, don't care. I mean, do care. Let's bring up Flight Simulator here. I'm in the correct category. We're streaming. We've got no drop frames. We've got green bandwidth there. All right, let's switch to my Osprey. We flew the D3 yesterday, and honestly, I enjoy it. But this is a whole nother can of worms here. Let's see. The Miltech simulations, no, it's not free. You have to pay money for this, which is another reason why I like to use it a lot. But it's just it's fun. It's fun. Okay, now there's only one. Comes with a bunch of, see, it's unfolding. We'll be doing that a little bit. Comes with a bunch of liveries, but only a few of them are good. How about Japan Ground Self-Defense Force? We've seen this a few times. It looks okay. I mean, the presidential one is the best, but I wear that one out, so we have to go do something different. I guess if we're in the Japanese model, maybe we should fly over Japan. It's bright. It's we could advance it so that it's not 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning or whatever it actually is there. I guess I don't know what it is over here. Let's see. We flew around Tokyo. We've flown around there. We don't want to go Korea. I guess we could try the north, like Sapporo, because it could be all snowy up there. Wouldn't that be fun? Let's fly around Sapporo. It looks like it's going to be a snowy time. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Yeah, I've done this before, but okay. So we're going to change it to kind of a daytime. There we go. Like sometime in the day. Just so we can have a nice daytime flight. I'm not changing the default weather, and we are going to cold start this puppy. So we're going to start at a medium gate in the Mariotti. Okay, I think I can get it. Oh, it's a tricky plane to fly, and it has a unique startup sequence and shutdown sequence, which involves folding up the entire plane. We don't start fully folded, you see here, but it's a really interesting. Now, of course, the Osprey here, the V-22 Osprey, is a real military platform. It's not really used for carrying weapons, but it could carry parachute troops. Multiplayer is available in this region. Try, I don't care. You got all these, you got all your pitot tube covers removed before flight. Don't worry, we'll remove before flight. But it's cool, and this is this cool Japanese livery. We're in Japan. It says Japanese stuff on it. I like that, you know. So that's pretty cool. I don't care if we can't do multiplayer. Now look at those engines there. Beware blast. You can't start up the engines. These propellers interfere with the ground when they're in this position. This position is typically only used when the engines are stopped or when you're flying forward in the actual flying. All right, let's get in this and start warming up this puppy here. It does require the use of the APU to start it. Wait, first we turn the battery bus on. And that allows us to get our APU. The APU is a small turbine engine located in the wing. That little port there is the exhaust. You can see heat coming out of the exhaust. It's the APU warming up. Now, once we're here, we can put it in run. Oop, run. Yep. Gotta start it up again. I did the wrong thing. Run. Okay. Now the APU is running. Sorry. All right. Now, once the APU is running, we can start turning on. We're going to turn on all 5. These, for whatever reason, have 5 independent on-off switches. I don't know if that's true in the actual thing here. And day-night modes. We want them all in day mode. Okay. Now, what's happening here on this one here now that we need to look at here, this middle one here, is the APU is starting to is pressurizing one of the 3 hydraulic systems. There's 1, 2, and 3 down there. 1 and 2 are associated with the engines that haven't started yet. But we need the hydraulic system in order to raise the propellers for start. So you see here I'm using a foot pedal. This is the thing you need. I'm not touching anything. I have a foot pedal down there that is set to control the pylon position there. Then the cell position. So let's see, it says 88, 88, 92. No, we want 88 is perfect. Or 90 is perfect, excuse me, 90. 90 is straight up and down. There we go. All right, so the engines are facing straight up and down. That is their starting position. We can start the left engine. So you put it in crank. Leave it in crank for about 10 seconds. Remember, these are turbine engines, so they don't really produce a lot of power until they started speeding up. I don't exactly know how you're supposed to know. Now, as soon as I put it in start, we're not in fly yet. Most thing I always like to point out is, wait a minute, are you starting both engines? No, only the left engine is starting, but both rotors start turning. And the reason why is because both engines power both rotors through a torque tube system that transfers torque in between from one engine to the other rotor. So even though one engine is working, and that's important because if you lose one engine in flight, you don't want to lose one whole rotor system. You just lose half the power that's going to both rotors. Okay, it's starting to speed up there. All right, we could put this engine in run or fly. All right, we're going to crank the other engine. With that again, same thing. Got to let it crank for it's a rotor. You'll let it crank a bit. Okay, a good solid 5 to 10 seconds. Then we could put that in start. We're going to let it start. Now, if we were looking down on these things here, you can see that the left engine hydraulic system is in the green. The right engine hydraulic system has not even started pressurizing yet. It's still in the start sequence. So that's why it says right engine failure. It hasn't failed, it just hasn't started up yet. Okay, now we're starting to see the hydraulic pressure come up. And that means we have a good start. And you can see that the start engine fail has come off. That means we can go ahead and put this in the fly mode. All right, once you've got your engine started, you don't need this anymore. APU should be put in stop mode. It's just wasting gas there. You've got your engines to provide all the power you need. All right, let's, okay, everything is pretty much booted up here. Let's fly around. It's a wacky plane system. It has many interesting features. We're going to be doing some of them. Let's just do a request taxi parking straight out. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is that instead of having a pullback to reverse, what I'm going to do is move the nacelles to the rearmost position, so they're actually kind of looking behind us. And now when I release the parking brakes, I get reversing, and I can kind of reverse myself out of a tight parking spot that way. So now we are flying around. Let's see. Okay, let's just move that way. All right. So now we're gonna move our rotors down to kind of the limit of taxiing, which is a little bit further down. That gives us more taxi leverage there. But again, you cannot put the rotors all the way down, or you'll hit the ground. And in this simulation, it does happen. It will show you. You know, it will say, oh, you know, it doesn't show your rotors breaking into pieces, but it effectively says, yeah, you destroyed your engines. There's a lot of ways you can destroy your engines in this simulation, because during takeoff you're over torquing them, and you can only over torque the engines for about 25 seconds before they you know. So got to be careful about over torquing, but it's necessary for takeoff. It's a tricky plane. Like, you know, for these, it's like having a 20-second boost available during takeoff, and you're going to need it. And then we're going to be flying around like a regular plane, and then switching to horizontal or vertical flight mode like a helicopter, and landing somewhere vertically. It's just what we do around here when we're flying the 22. Oops, did I turn this thing off here? Why is it not running? That's interesting. What is going on with my plane? Did I not turn my battery on? Battery's on. That's interesting. Why am I, but I'm not getting power to electrical systems, so they're going out. It's never happened to me the first time. There's always some weirdness. But that's different. Yeah, the AC bus left engine failure, right engine failure. How is it that the engines failed? Also, they're still spinning, but that's interesting. All right, let's try starting them up again. All right, we gotta run. We gotta put this in run. When it comes to run, turn it on. These go all the way off. I gotta check to see, right? These are armed. Yeah, the engines failed, but it doesn't say why. All right, we got to make sure we're here, and also the rotors are still spinning. Although I'm not sure what that's about. Yeah, some weird stuff's going on here. Let's see. Okay, down there. Okay, let's try starting the engines again and see if we can fly around. But they kind of turned off spontaneously. We got to let that 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then start. Okay, here it's starting. So when that red light for left engine failure goes out, I'm going to put it in normal and fly. But no, I'm not optimistic. I guess maybe, do you have to do this? Okay, and then, okay, this goes into fly. Then crank. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And start. And look again down here when that left one goes out. This is interesting. I may have done something weird. I don't know what, but it will know if the engines kind of fail again during flight or during takeoff. Because now, okay, start it up again. Goes into fly. We should be able to turn off the APU now. And have the engines continue on, right? Okay, the other engine's power is coming up. Let's move for takeoff position here. We're not quite at the well, we could take off anywhere, by the way. Oops. I mean, we don't really need a runway. Because, I mean, I can take off between here and the other. Let's go to the runway. I am seeing lots of snow. That was a weird little engine failure. So I'm looking down there to see if the engines fail again. I may have done a fuel cutoff on them. It's kind of on the analog control stick here, inadvertently. Because maybe I need to have those other controls up there. Not my throttle control. This is my throttle control here. That shouldn't affect whether your engines are running or not. Just how much power they put off. Okay, we're heading out there. All right, I think we'll be able to fly around. Engines seem to be operating. Nothing's stopping them now. And we'll soon be at the foot of the runway. Again, a very, very short takeoff sequence. That was weird. I don't know. This is a big-ass airport, though. Sapporo's main international airport. And we'll fly around it, too. And then we'll check out Sapporo, which is northwest of here. So you can kind of see in the distance there, that direction. But we'll be flying around a bit. I'm always looking forward to flying. One of my favorite planes to fly. And again, I've flown it a lot, so I'm kind of surprised we had a spurious engine shut down there. The engines are not shutting down now. They're all in the green. They're all showing green. And this plane, as I like to say, this plane, once it's actually in the air, it flies like a Cadillac. It's hard to describe it. But I mean, like, it's kind of bumpy on the ground, and there's a lot of vibration. And then once you get in the air, it's so stable, and kind of I would say more so than a jet. I don't know, for various reasons, mainly because the fuel is carried low in the plane, not in the wing, but in those bulges on the sides. That's where the fuel is. Pretty unusual place for it to be, which makes this plane, not tactical, meaning you wouldn't want to fly around in enemy airspace. Or where it could be, where it could be shot down from enemy airspace. It's not really that practical a war machine because of lack of defensive capabilities, but it's still super cool. And again, they operate them in various services. All right, let's slow down here. Flaps are automatic. We're going to tune the tower. Okay, parking brakes on. Tune the tower. Request the clearance from Clarence. Jeez, am I going to make that joke every time? It's an airplane joke. I love airplanes. Yeah, we're going to use like 1/10 of this runway here. All right, so the key is to smoothly, I'm advancing the throttle, but I'm also using my foot controls to move the thingies forward. Get some speed going here. Yes, takeoff clearance. We're took off already.
ATC services terminated. Good day.
Okay, so gear comes up. We got the engines fully forward here, and we're starting to speed up. Okay. All right, let's take a look at this plane. We just took off. By the way, you kind of have to know what you're doing. I mean, in general. Oops. With all planes, but look how huge this airport is. It's very well designed with all these kind of moon-shaped terminals here. And very modern design. Or I guess slower down here. Every time you try to get in, you get into the prodigious backwash caused by those giant propellers. So it says New Chitose, and it's even like written out in the snow. But I just want to take a look at the airport design. I think this is one of the more modern, like designed in the 80s, 70s or 80s Japanese airports. And yeah, okay, so you can see the terminal design there. Very, very well thought out, I think. It's interesting, well, I don't know. Kind of interesting how okay, there's two sets of runways. Okay, one's there, one's there. All right, northwest to Sapporo. Looks like a beautiful day today. It's cold. Sapporo is north. It's one of the basically the northernmost populated cities, large cities in Japan. So it's up there above where like Vancouver, Canada, I think would be, in terms of somewhere around there latitude. But beautiful day here, lovely. I didn't have to change the weather, I don't believe, and we'll double check, but we should have the live weather turned on here. Just want to double check there. You click on here, it says live weather. Yes, that means It is using live weather reports to. Oh, actually, it just changed. Did you see that? Well, and they're updated online. They're updated from online sources. But basically, it reads what the weather is, and then it kind of tries to use AI to figure out what it probably would look like in the area. It does a good job, but it has to do some calculations and look things up. It has to look up what the current weather is. That looks more realistic than it looked before, in that there should be clouds. It should be kind of not necessarily breaking sun the whole way. But I like that. I like that. The weather changed, I think, to get more realistic. When we said, hey, can we see the live weather? It is not the live time of day. It's the middle. It's like the 3 a.m. or whatever there. But this is a beautiful plane. As I said, it feels like you're flying on a rail from the interior. See, nothing's jumping around, nothing's shaking, nothing's vibrating. It feels like you're flying on a magic carpet, let me put it that way, not a rail. And I don't know whether that's the simulation or whether that's the real thing. But again, part of it is that the center of gravity is low for the plane. Anyway, so you see how big those things are and how huge those propellers. Oh, we got a rainbow over there. Huge the propellers are, and how if you were trying to land like this and not raise the nacelles, you're gonna break your rotors off. Break the propellers off. Which is why there's this important meter down here. You see here on the HUD here on that MFD4 there, upper left, that shows the position of the rotor. 0 means straight forward, 90 is straight up. You go to 98 or something, or 96. But that also shows you there what your envelope is, meaning at what speeds can you have the rotors in what range. And so that is pretty critical for the pilot to be monitoring. I think it's up kind of this way here. We're going to check out Sapporo. What's our speed? About 215. It has a very easy to use autopilot system. It's that big box there in the upper top there. Very powerful autopilot, I would call it, but I'm not going to use it for this flight. What we are going to do is show an example of flying this kind of path for a while and then transitioning to a helicopter-like flying regime, which we haven't done yet. It hasn't done that yet because we didn't take off using a helicopter mode vertically. Typically, you'd want to fly to your destination before you even try that because you want to burn some fuel off. You want to be lighter. But I believe with 50% fuel or less, we can hover and fly around like a helicopter. And if not, we'll find out. We'll see what happens when we try. All right, what's our power? 81% is optimal. 81% is a torque value. It's not the position of your, it's not position of your throttle. The throttle is like about 40% in, but it's your torque range of the. Anyways. And again, you got a lot of complicated computer systems. I don't really think any of this stuff works. But the coolest thing is that the stow system, which is the thing that stows the wing, is operational. And we'll be playing with that for sure. Because it's the most fun thing. But you got a great view. You got your rear view mirrors. You got your Big Mac window over there when you're going through the drive-through. Those don't work, though. The Big Mac windows don't open. That's too bad. And the other cool thing is that a lot of planes don't have is that window down there. That's a viewing port down there. It's very helpful for landing vertically. As you know, you can't see straight down. But that is very helpful for actual pilots to see kind of it's a little bit below them. But I believe also, like most modern weapon systems like this, it would have a downward-facing camera. It's just Microsoft Flight Simulator doesn't seem to have a downward-facing camera option. But to add to your MFC. So I think this is the center of Sapporo here. That it is very snowy this time of year, I'm gonna say. Right here. I mean, this seems to look like the tallest buildings in the area, right? We're flying around though. It makes it very hard to identify anything, all that layer of snow. But yeah, this is effectively the Canadian city of or maybe the Detroit of not really Detroit, it's at the north. The country of Japan. Actually, there's a bunch of stuff over there we're going to fly over. It could be multiple kind of municipalities, like Tokyo is a whole bunch of like separated areas that have been built up over the years to where it's all one connected metropolitan area. We got some commercial activity, a lot of houses. I see taller buildings in this direction, and we're also going to fly out to the water. Now, I don't think it's a place. It's very cold, like even all year round. It's not a place where you're going to have a lot of summer resorts. But this is really interesting looking terrain in that It's a pretty, it's being depicted after pretty heavy snowfall, and no melting, and that makes it really different compared to every other time we've flown over here. Well, we've flown over a few times. You know, I've flown pretty much everywhere in the world. I bet there's a bunch of places I haven't. I just don't know what they are, because, like, you know what I mean. I've never been there. And, well, that's cool. But to some extent, I enjoy kind of reflying places, because again, last time we flew here, it was definitely a springtime flight, and this is a dead of winter flight. Wow, there's a lot of buildings down here, and they seem like they're it's in a very grid-like pattern. You got a bunch of bridges over this snowy banked river. I got the urge to head down this river here, and my urges must be felt. Must be, you know what I mean? I got an urge. You don't have a lot of roll rate here. But for you know, for what it is, it's pretty maneuverable. What's our speed here? Fine. Beautiful bridge works here. Flying at low level in the Osprey, but don't worry, because we have the Japanese. Nobody's gonna worry. It's not like we're foreign Air Force right here. What's over here? I think somewhere is going to be like where they have the Winter Olympics, but it's going to be up in the hills somewhere, and I don't necessarily know where it's going to be. Again, a bunch of really cool single, those suspension, hybrid suspension bridges there. Beautiful. We are starting to hit the limits of my simulation, because I can tell because it's getting framey. Let's see what we've hit. Plenty of main memory. Plenty of memory. It's just, yeah, just a lot of stuff to see. So it's wailing on my GPU. Not too bad, but yeah, it's just gonna see. We're just gonna get down to about the 30 frames per second right here. But no, it's not running out of memory. It's just starting to go. Yeah, I'm full. Although, you know, it should run out of memory before it does that. I'm watching my task manager. But yeah, I think this is about as good as we're gonna get. Maybe from staying on the inside here. But I'm just thinking maybe this road will take us up to where the Olympic Games were, because it seems like a major road. You know, or there still are like a bunch of resorts up here, I think. Like, you start to see like there's still a lot of stuff going on down here. There's a tunnel. I'm gonna head up here. But yeah, we're getting pretty herky-jerky. Yeah, the GPU does not indicate that it's being limited. It's just it's doing the best it can do with what it's got to work with. Which is too bad, because I was hoping SU4 would solve all the frame rate issues forever and, you know, running out of memory. But it's still basically a situation of I got to save up for that new graphics card I was promising for my birthday this year. Although I won't be able to, actually, I'm going to see the Eagles for my birthday. All right, is there stuff down here? Like here, is that like a toboggan path or something, or snow? It seems like here might be kind of where the Olympics, like maybe certain events would have been held. So jump, slalom, I don't know. You know, this area here might be where the skiing happens. But I don't know, maybe up here. We got a lot of snow-covered trees. I wonder if having snow-covered trees really affects the frame rate. All right, we're just gonna fly around. We're gonna fly around here. Yeah, not seeing anything out of the ordinary in my task manager. But again, all that looks like is winter resort stuff. But wow, yeah, it's getting framey. I think we'll just have to deal with it until later in the year when I get my new graphics card. We're getting nice and close to this ridge, so it's all dramatic. What's our speed here? A little fast. All right, let's check out the waterfront here. And as we do, I'm going to slow down a bit, and we are going to do that conversion to a vertical flight here. By vertical flight, I mean like a helicopter-like flight. And then we can kind of land maybe on the wharf down there. So I don't know exactly where. That also looks like maybe groomed ski runs, maybe. It's definitely too high to be a golf course. But yeah, Sapporo is known for winter. You know, Olympics at winter, and people come up from other parts of Japan for the winter for skiing and the like, and other snowy and the cold winter people who like that stuff. So they're definitely, I'm sure, the resorts. Is this like a train thing here? I'm not sure what these shapes are. It's kind of cool. That looks like a real interesting kind of area back there. Here, this too has weird shapes down there. Don't know what it's about. Don't know what it's for. All right, as I mentioned, so what I do is I have a foot controller. I don't have to do anything, but I can use my foot controller to change the position of the cells. And as I do, that meter down there changes and shows me now, starting to show me the range at which I can have my cells. So bring it up even further. And as we do that, the plane starts to slow down. Now, I've still got them quite far forward. We want to have more power. I believe this is a nuclear power plant here. Japan has quite a few. Maybe not nuclear, but some kind of power plant right here. I'm going to fly over it. The shadow of that osprey. Maybe not. Maybe it is. It doesn't have. I don't see the cooling towers. But when you're right near a source of very cold water, like you are here, year-round cold water, you don't need cooling towers. You can use water, cold water transfer. You pump in, and it looks like that's what they're doing. So it could be a nuclear power plant that does not need cooling towers. Oh, let's head out this way here. Again, when you're traveling really slow like this, you want to if you want to turn to the right, you yaw. You don't turn the wings. Not, and as we go, I can get these guys even further north. I do want to go forward a little bit here. So by further north, I mean how vertical I have those pylons, the nacelles. It's pretty cool though. It's such a great system, but. Pretty soon I can go to 9 degrees, and then we can kind of hover or check things out. We'll do that over this wharf here. And again, it looks very cold out. We're getting some frame rates, but not the greatest frame rates in the world. That's actually acceptable. I consider it acceptable. But again, I do want to get, I guess it's, if I'm buying a card this year, the 60 series cards won't be out till the end of the year. They would have been announced at CES, and they weren't. So I think they're just refreshing the 50 series cards. So hopefully when I'm buying a card later, like April or May, they'll have like the refresh cards, which still could be 50 series, but might have more memory or might be less expensive or whatever kind of thing. Yeah, I guess this is a terminal for tankers and other freight ships to load and unload from. Okay. Yeah, but this is a snowy, snow-covered. That's the Gulf. What I don't know if this is the North Sea. It's very cold. We're up to the North Atlantic. But it's cool looking. I mean, we can land anywhere. I think I feel like landing somewhere. So one of the other cool things to notice is that the flap system is automatic, which is interesting. And good because you wouldn't want to have to manually control the flaps. And they help you effectively when you're in helicopter mode. They kind of come down automatically and help you fly more like a helicopter. You want even more vertical here. A little more power. That's the other thing is that when you're flying like this, your control of the power is very important, and just kind of keeping in mind using your eye to kind of judge how fast the ground is approaching. We're gonna land up ahead here, so that little whizzing sound is the landing gear coming down. There it is. And we'll go to full vertical, 90 degrees on these. And that doesn't... Okay, now we got to watch our sync rate. So a little more power. I'm going to turn kind of to face the waterfront here. But we don't want so much power that we're going to ascend, because we do want to descend here. So that's the descent phase. I don't want to land in the water. I kind of want to land a little ahead here. Now if I see that... My sync rate is going down. I can, and that's on my HUD, that lower right screen. That there's a little diamond on the very right side, and that little red mark there. If we descend faster than that into that red mark, then that's when that is triggered, and it's due to a vortex ring state issue. We can land over here, but we can hover for a while. It's quite stable. I'm going down because I want to go down. I'm not like, I don't feel like I'm being forced to go down. I don't know if this is the most smooth surface in the world, right up in front of this building here, but you'd think it would be. But yeah, I can come down faster if I want, but I don't want. I want to come down at this speed. This is what it looks like from the outside. Bring up a lot of snow, presumably. I don't want to hit anything. I don't want to hit my propeller over there. But yeah, we can land like a helicopter right here, and take off like a helicopter if we want. You see the smoke coming up there. Oh. Yeah, it's not the smoothest surface in the world, but it's pretty much where I wanted to land. I wonder almost if that's a control tower, because it's the way that building looks like they are small planes. There's a small runway here somewhere. Because, you know, the way that building looks, it looks like it's designed to observe incoming airplanes. And there might be, like, helicopters, but that's obviously storage. Alright, well, we're going to do our little thing here. And by a little thing, I mean, hopefully that I'm on a slight tilt is not going to affect us. But by a little thing, I mean, actually, you know what? Let's take off and land. Where's the smoother area? Like, right at that intersection there. If I increase my power here... and increase power, I can actually show you what I meant by taking off like a helicopter. There's, you hear that smoke there? No more. And then I should be able to like just like turn around here. Maybe land in this intersection here. It'll be nice and flat. I don't know. It's gonna be tricky to do from the inside. It's tricky to do from that angle. I wonder if this is gonna be flat. Some rocks there. Yeah, it's flatter. It's pretty cool that you could put this thing basically down on a dime. And how, you know, what a complicated system it is. All right, so what I wanted to show you guys is kind of the reverse procedure. Hopefully it'll work this time. We're going to turn on the APU because we're shutting down the engines, but we need hydraulic power to complete our task here. I keep doing that. Wrong way. There you go. Okay, so now we can turn off the engines. Just turn them right off. We got power being generated and hydraulic power. Now these rotors are going to spin for a good long while, but we need them to stop. Fortunately, they provide a thing called a rotor brake. A working rotor brake is rotor brake, and that will greatly increase or decrease the time it takes to get those rotors to spin down. We're still at a horizontal level. Very good. We want them to stop entirely, and we're going to do the stow sequence. All right, don't worry about that automatically coming on there. All right, so rotor brake off now. So to do the stow sequence, we go down here. We hit the system page. We go to the BF. Don't worry. Okay, I'll go a little closer here. You can see the BFWS control panel. We go with full stow with rotor lock. All right. So let's see what it's going to do. So rotor lock is. So you got to watch all the surfaces. Rotor lock is manually, effectively using a small motor system, moving the propellers to a specific place. And remember, they're synchronized by a torque tube that runs through the wing. So you can do that from the inside. You don't need to be running the engines to do this. But it's going to get even cooler. Okay, they have to, I think, kind of face each other. I don't remember now. They got to spin around up to one full rotation to get to the exact right position. So it could take a while. This particular part. It will finish. Yeah, this one had to go like more than 180 degrees. That's because the next stage you'll see the propellers are not fully symmetrical. One of them stays in one position, the other two fold up into it. It's kind of interesting. Okay, so you see the flaps are now in the rear are coming up. There's a little sequencer there. It's a fold blade. Okay, so now it's folding the blades, so they go like this, and then two of the blades fold onto the third. So that's what I meant by they're not symmetrical. One of them doesn't have to fold at all. All right, and then it moves the entire thing down here. You can kind of see from here. You can kind of see, look out the window and see it's kind of dramatic. So it folds down, and then the entire wing folds 90 degrees for storage. That's that whirring sound there. There it goes. And on this side, you'll see it's approaching. And this is what it looks like from the outside. It's really impressive. I mean, it's the best. It's a really fun Lego toy in the game. And the reason why it does this in the real world is to be able to pack a lot of these onto an aircraft carrier, a specific kind of aircraft carrier. It's not the big ones, the small ones. And all the planes that fly on those aircraft carriers have to have a folding wing system. If they're fixed wings, or these kind of guys, or helicopters have a automatic folding wing system into the, and that the rotors can fold. But this has this whole wing stowage, so the whole thing is as wide as those rear, fits into the width of the rear tail rotor, the wheel, that tail, not coincidentally, and that bulge, that kind of negative bend in the back of the plane that looks cool, is actually there to look cool, to be aerodynamic, and also so that when it's stored, the rear engine doesn't hit the back of the plane. So it's like a lot of design thought. And the entire mechanism for this system is in the wing. So there's the APU is in the wing, all the hydraulic system is in the wing. Fuel is not located in the wing where it would be most places. Fuel is located in the bulges on the left and right side there, which also have the left and right landing gear. It's just a really cool weapon system. Oh yeah, I gotta mention we can open the doors. We can go door, 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 and then you'll see on this side here, you can see the door. That door opens there, and it's got this two-part door system. It goes down there and includes the thing, and then the door in the back opens up here, the ramp in the back. You can see the inside. Let's get out of the plane, take a look here. Oops, that's not the right button. Here we go. All right, so now we're outside the plane. Don't worry about the floating rocks. It's just gravity. Gravity's weird in when it's okay. You go in here. You can see there's, I think, 24 of these jump seats, like 12 on each side. These would be for parachuters, but I don't think that's a very common mission. But that's what this looks like if it's set up for 24 parachuters. They jump out the back there. Then you got this. We can go through here, that bulkhead. So you can see what we're looking like there. We're in the air things. All right. So once we're done here, we've got the wings. We've got things open. We're going to turn off the APU, but it's going to be cold. And the battery. And you hear everything kind of whir down. Everything's turned off there. But the doors are open. It's really cool looking. Want to take a screenshot here? Should we? I don't know if there's going to be a screenshot opportunity. Let's see. Let's get out of the plane. All right, we're here. Okay. Let's see if I can do a screenshot. I'm a little concerned about the floating rocks. I don't know. That might be the scourge of Sapporo. But you got to get close up to get that dramatic kind of effect of what am I even looking at? But what you're looking at is the 22 with its wings all folded up. Let's do a little. I don't know why I do these. I don't usually really use them, but I like to have a little memento of every day. Every time I fly, I'm taking a little time off from work. In fact, I should check my mail here. There's some Jira updates here. Jira updates. Hem zip file. Okay, that's good stuff. It's all in progress. Oh yeah, we'll put this here. Well, that was kind of fun, I guess. Yeah, it was pretty typical for a flying segment. Again, 45 minutes is about all I can do. Sometimes I'll do a second flight. But today, gosh, as I mentioned before, I do love the Osprey system. Again, I'm not 100% sure. I think I might have done a fuel. If I remember now, I think I accidentally did a fuel cutoff at the wrong time. Yeah. It is what it is. We got flying around. I didn't smash anything, and it's not an easy plane to do all that maneuvering next to buildings. I have collision detection on. If I hit any of those buildings, it would have gone, you're smashed. What is this plane, this little car, this van's driving back and forth? All right, so we're going to go into the just chatting category. like we always do around this time, I do want to get out of Microsoft Flight Simulator into into my desktop here. There we go, quit desktop. So yeah, there's gonna be some big brain games. Let me get that booted up here, kind of ready to go before the segment of Ken Spin Lounge, which I do practically every other day, but it is what it is. I like playing the piano. I'm pretty good at it. I'm starting to get good at it, let me put it that way. Moist. Lower left. This is the warm-up game. It's the Quirtle. Let's see what we got here. It looks like Spicy over here on the upper right. And then we got, let's see, there's an L and an R, but not there. So it's got to be Swirl. On the upper left here, all we really know is there's a B. Oh, it could be Beard, B-E-A-R-D, right? All right, that was a particularly easy warm-up game. Well, we got more games to play. The next game is The Revealed. It's from the fine folks at whatever, Britannica. I don't know if they're fine. Right? Arts and culture, 6-letter word, 4-letter word. Okay, the thing we're looking for is an blank blank, originally blank in blank by the blank, that spawned a popular blank and helped start the blank blank revolution of the blank. The blank blank marked the first appearance of blank, a blank blank who rolled blank down a series of blank, and blank, better known as blank of blank fame after the introduction of the blank blank for home blank. Oof, I think it's a video game character. What's this long thing here? Yeah, I was correct. Is it Donkey Kong? Yeah, that's got to be, actually, now that I see the description. I think I probably could have guessed it, but that one is not bad. Hey. The part where I thought, okay, video game, but right, the rolled blank down a series of blank. You know, you mean it kind of that seemed to call out. You know, you plus 6 letters and 4 letters, whatever. So, all right, we need one reveal. There's Donkey Kong right there. Other players were pretty found it fairly easy. That's fine. Good for them. All right, the next game is the Tightrope Trivia Quiz. It's a 9-question timed multiple choice trivia quiz. The time is the biggest part of your score, so you got to get things right and fast if you want a good score, which we do. I consider myself a certified trivia master. Today's the Tuesday game, Wednesday game. It shouldn't be the hardest in the world. But you never know with trivia. Trivia can be hard because you don't know the answer. But then you got to guess, and then you got to guess. All right, let's move on. The future and wearing men's clothing. I'm going to guess Joan of Arc on that one. Some others. The Who. I vaguely remember watching that when I was 7 years old. And I don't. So you have 5 arms, and then some can have up to 40. A star. Yeah, I see stars. Most, starfish is what I mostly called. The blank celebrity actors of the world are the supercilious of those. I'm going to go with. That is Tristan's a little trachea condition she's had since childhood. Florence Pugh. Okay, didn't know that one. Hard to guess it. The first one is on what god? Zeus of those. At the top of Mount Olympus. That was a hard one. I don't think I could have got that one. All right, let's move on. There's the 9 bells of which ability of science because there's a structure, Pisa. Died of casting goat. In Bohemian Rhapsody, he wore teeth to play Freddie Mercury. Oldest planet is for me guesses. What is the oldest planet in our solar system? Jupiter. That I did not know. I thought they're all basically the same age. I guess that makes sense. It's the biggest one. Would I rather pee out a grape or poop out a pineapple? See, that's different. You said pea out of grape or pea out of pineapple yesterday. You're changing things up, man. You're changing things up on me. It's too confusing. Do I look like the person who has that kind of flexibility of mind? But good to see you, by the way. Welcome. Welcome in. I don't care. That sucked. I made it across, but I got a shitty score, so I'm only tightrope boss. Two of those were kind of hard for me. It is what it is, man. That's we play the games and we move on. The next game is a reunion. I got like 3 or 4 more games to play, and they take some time. So, and I got to get back to work, and I got to start thinking about this this pineapple and grape situation. I'm pretty sure we're still talking about the grape, though. I mean, you know what I mean? But you know, everything's on the table. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, this is going to be a tricky one, I think. What do we know? Okay, this M could be anywhere. This A has to be on the row. So what could that be? If it's the A is there, then it has to be. See, I think the A has to be after the D, but I want to check something. And then what else do we got? All these others have to move off the row. This E could be anywhere. The L could go anywhere. This I has to stay on the column, but that doesn't help me too much. And that W is an interesting place. It's not owl because that L is not green. This is an interesting game. Should I just assume that this A is over here? Yeah, okay. At least I kind of know what I'm doing. Or I guess guessing. What could this be? Because it's not ES. But is there a Y? There's no Y, so it's not Y. It can't be any of these. It could be DAUBS. No, there's no B. I don't know what that's going to be. All right, let's keep moving on here. What could be before this L? Could be the F. I think it's going to be the F because nothing else could be a consonant that appears before an L. That was available. Oh, I guess P. It could have been P. Oh, well. But anyway, now I think it's going to be flip something. What could it, or could it be, it can't be O. It can be I or it could be E. I think it's going to be I. Okay, we're moving forward. 3 moves in. I'm trying to get this in under 17 moves. That's effectively like a par for the course kind of situation. But is this word going to be something? Could it be flip? Because there's only 3 letters. Can't be flip side. It just could be flipped. FLIPP, right? Because there's another P. So I think it's going to be flipped. All right, and we have this E here. All right, so now we got 1 word, and we've only gotten 5 words, 5 letters. This word here, DA something blank S. What could that be? Could it be Darns? DARNS? Let's try it. Yes, I think it's going to be Darns. Oof, it wasn't Darns. It was close. It was a good idea. Oh, it could be Darts. Oof. All right, well, I got one bad, so probably not going to get our 17. But that's all right. You got to get it perfectly, but it's still a fun game. All right, I've decided now that this I has to be there. It has to be on the row. But now we have a word that starts with S and has a W in it. But it's not foul because it's... the O could go there, though. Oh, it could be F-O... What could it be? F-O-I-W something? But it could... Is there an O available? There is... This just... Well, it can't be owl, because the L is not there. Oh, it could be like flow. So the L could be over here. All right, and then you probably are going to have... See, the only letter that goes in there is O. That makes any sense? It's not flows, but that's okay. This letter is not going to be there. But it could be flown with an N. F-L-O-W-N, because there's an N available. All right, we're doing good. I think I'll get 18 moves, which is fine. 17 is effectively a win. We're close enough. But I don't want it to be more than that, so these all have to be right. Okay, now we have P blank OU, but this thing might be there, so it could just be OU. What could it be? Because it can't be our, OUR. So it has to be a word. It has to be a available letter. I don't see any available letters. So now I think it has to be a word. It's P blank OU blank. In which case, could it be a word? What could it be? It could be PL. It could be Plaus. Again, we have a limited number of words. A pious, Pious. Pious. All right, got a word. We're doing well. The next game after that, we got a couple more games to go though. Next game is gonna after this will be the connections, and then finally an Octurals or two. But yeah, I got to keep moving on. We're an hour in, and I've only got an hour and 45 minutes. I have all the time in the world. But I want to. There'll be a whole nother music segment. A lot of streaming to go. That's why I sit and I bring my piano in. It's a lot of work to bring the piano in. Anyway, okay, we got 4 more moves. And most likely I'm going to need 5. So let's just figure out what they are, though. Okay, this word here is going to be... Okay, where's the U going to go? It has to be on this column. I think it has to be here. O-U-R. O-U-R. Okay, that's fine. And then this is going to be... This M has to move off. So... Can this be... Nemesis on the right? It could be, because this E, well, I have to do all things. There's a Nemesis here. 17, woohoo, that's par. So I guess I could have got it in 16. Whew, I consider 17 a win, big win. All right, I love these games. I mean, I don't love them. It's just I do them every day because I like, I'm a mind that enjoys the puzzles. Let's do the connections. This is one of the harder games that they do. They provide the New York fine folks at the New York Times provide this on a daily basis. You get these 16 words or short phrases, words in this case, and you got to group them into 4 groups of 4. But there's a lot of misdirection and wordplay involved. So let's read them off and see if we can find anything offhand that really calls out to us as a group of 4 that we can call a group of 4. Okay, and that we're pretty confident. Okay, so steak, star, wine, mirror, stripe, garlic, interest, cross, share, cider, double, trousers, crescent, clone, concern, and ringer. I'm going to go, these things are things that vampires don't like. I mean, it definitely is a connection. Whether it's the right connection or not, I don't know, because they could well be doing, we'll try anyway. It's a misdirection. So, okay. It's not things that vampires don't like. All right, well, hey, they can be hard. Let's see. Clone Wars, Star Wars. Could we have other things? I don't see any. No. Cross Wars, Wine Wars, Mirror Wars. No, those don't work. Stake, interest, share, and concern. What do you think of those? Because nothing else fits in there. I'm going to try it. I don't have all day. I feel good about it. Portion. Okay. That was the easiest one. All right. Now we're going to go on with, let's see. Stripe, garlic, star, cross, wine, cider, like apple cider. But what else? Hard cider. What else would that be? Dead ringer, dead crescent. No. It's a star, a cross, a crescent. These are all things on the flag of Turkey or somewhere, right? A flag of Turkey or something. Common flag symbols. Okay, I'll take that. I think I can think of at least one flag that's got all those. All right, we're doing good. We've only got one wrong so far. That's good. Okay, wine cider should get easier. We only need to get one more out of these four, out of these eight, a group four, and the other falls out. Right? Okay. Wine, cider, double, trousers, ringer, mirror, clone, and garlic. So ringer, mirror, double, and clone are all duplicates of a person, right? I'm pretty sure that's that connection there. Doppelgangers. I should have said doppelgangers. That's literally what duplicate of a person implies. Okay. Now garlic, wine, cider, and trousers. So it's almost certainly a word play in which a word is in front of or before all of these words. So we've got to figure out what that word is. We don't have to because I'll win it anyway. Okay. Let's see. Garlic, press, wine press, cider press, trousers press. Things that are pressed. You press trousers. Let's find out. I think it's things that are pressed. Pressed using a press. Great. I did get one wrong, the first one wrong, but then we got all of them right. So that's considered a win. I mean, it's not the best win. The best win is when you get nothing wrong. But I got to get my ass kicked on a couple occasions by this game recently. All right, back to the Octordals so we can finish up the big brain game. Are we going to jump right to the rescue, which is the hardest one? You got to solve these 8-word puzzles, but you don't even get to use my 3 powerful starting words. It uses 4 random crappy ones for you. Random. Well, they're going to be random. Oh my God. What this one here, though? Let's see. S-A-Y. It could just be assay. A-S-S-A-Y. What else could it be? Because it can't be sassy. It could be O-S-A-Y. What are the other vowels? Yeah, I think it's just assay. Like to weigh something. All right, that's fine. What do we have up here? There's an S and an R. And so imagine it starts with the S, then there's a T, and then it's something R. It has to be store, I think. Right? It's gotta be. Thank you. Oh, and this upper right one's gonna be not too bad because we know there's an F and O, F-R-O something E. So let's just figure out. It could be froze. Could be anything else. Frobe, frone, frome, frope, frope, frope. Now it's got to be froze. Can't think of anything else. It's got F-R-O blank E. That's okay. Z is not going to be a very common letter. This one here, it could be river because it could be R-I. It could be rider. It could be riper because it could end in ER. It could be too many things. So we're not going to try to guess that one quite yet. Here we also have R-O, and then there's an I to place. So could it be R-O-I, like groin, G-R? We're going to guess groin. It could be groin. Nice. That was really lucky. Now we might actually win this one to game. All right, this one here is G-R-I on the lower left here. And then we know there's an I. And then what is where we know there's an N. But it's only the 5th letter we don't know. It's got to be grind. Okay, the D wasn't used anywhere else, but that's okay. Now we have a word that starts with A, ends in L-E, but it has an N in it. And it doesn't have a G. So it could be... Let's see. Ankle. A-N-K-L-E, right? What else could it be? I think it's got to be ankle. All right, very good. Now we have 2 left to guess. This one is going to be hard. Let's guess the slightly easier one. That's this one. It's going to have an R at the beginning, excuse me, and an N at the end. Okay, we already knew it ends in E-N as R-I something E-N. So it's R-I something E-N. But it could be ripen. It could be a whole bunch of things. We got lucky. But that's good because this word is going to be hard. We do have 2 guesses to get it. But all I know is there's two eyes in it, and where the eyes are, and that we know it's built up from consonants that are these darker color below, not the light color ones. So let's see what we could put there. We're gonna guess at least two that could fit. I see right away is civic fits these because the C and the V are both available. Let's just try it. It was not civic, although the C is there. Interesting. So mimic. MIM because M is available. Come on, it's got to be Mimic. If it's not Mimic, I'm immediately ending the stream and going to the local store and purchasing all of the Diet Coke that they have available. All of it. The entire inventory of Diet Coke. And tell them Kinch 999 sent you. It is Quirtle Rescue. Fix the mess the computer made. Actually, let's do that one too. We did the Octurtle Rescue. We didn't do the Quirtle Rescue, which also has the same issue, but it's not quite. It's a little different. So the first thing we're going to do here is, rather than trying to guess words, is create a word that uses a third word that has all the important things that we need. So we have, I kind of want to use something that ends in Y, like ovary or something like that. That's no, that's ARY. That's not the right spelling. Let's see what we could do here. It uses an O and an E, and it preferably has the Y at the end. Let's just see what we got here. Let's do dopey, DOPEY for our third word here. It doesn't necessarily give us a lot, but at least now we have all of the vowels taken care of. And so it's only consonants that can appear in here that I'm not aware of. Okay, so let's see. What do we want to guess here? We have it. Let's see. This could be we still have R. So it could be paler, PALER, lower right. It was paler, and that helps. Oh, the R is not used anywhere else. All right, and then we have M and a T. So it's either, it could be totem, TOTEM, on the upper left. Oh no, it could have been totem. Dang it. Let's see. Let's see. It's either OMET. That wasn't good. Well, we got some extras here. This one here, I'm sure has to be. Let's see. I'm not sure here. Hold on a second. SLO. But then what? Slosh. Let's just try it. Okay. The L's at the end. This is a hard one today, but I also messed up, so. Looks like we have 3 guesses to get 3 words, so all these have to be correct. This one here we should be able to get. It's either OTMOTE. Oh, it could be motel? No, because the L's not in there. MOTE what? MO. Oh no, the T can't go there. So MO something ET. Or OMET. MO something ET. What is this word? This is a tricky one here. Yeah, the T has to be at the end. So it's O's, and the M could be in either spot. So it's either MO something ET or something OMET. XOMET. Oh, comet. Okay, it's comet. All right. At least we figured out the word eventually. I like playing the big brain games. And yeah, that C was super important because now we know there's a C in that. I kind of think there had to be a C. So it's scowl. And we finished the. Oh no, we have one more to do. And one guess. The C was important for both of these up one here. Well, one more guess. Now we have a C. There has to be an H. There has to be an E. There has to be an A, and there's a P. There's really no other words that could be. So, all right, we won the rescue. We run a bunch of games today. We did very well. I did very well, at least. I don't know about you guys. Switching over to the musical category, it's going to take me a solid 5 minutes to change over into the musical category. I got a whole bunch. I got to set up my keyboard. I got to move my planner. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to change my light, my microphone. I got to do whole tons of shit. I got to do. See you on the other side. There we go. How's everyone doing? Yeah, I'll get my camera set up here. Cheers. Welcome to Ken's Piano Lounge. It's supposed to be a mellow place where people can come hang out, maybe get a drink or something. For one thing, if it's in the middle of the day and you're working after this segment, like me, fetch yourself a lovely a diet beverage, fizzy beverage, for example. Oh, look at that Diet Coke there. I'm gonna try some right now. Oh my lord. Okay, I'm gonna warm up a bit here. Wait a minute, that's not it. What is Ken's Piano Lounge? it's a weird question. You're here, so just enjoy. Oh, my camera's not working again today. Yay! Let me try, resetting it a couple times here. That didn't do anything. That didn't do anything. Yeah, it's not responding to command at all. Annoying. Ugh. It is what it is. Oh, I forgot to do the right one here. The amazing thing is eventually it'll start working. But there's nothing I can do about it. It just stops responding to commands. I'm just trying whether I should replace it or I don't know. Well, 2 out of 3 cameras are working today. It's funny, my audio system was broken too. Had to be rebooted. My mixer. Technical issues they're gonna kill me. I might not stream for the rest today because that looks so terrible. Alright, let's just mess with it a bit. I don't got anything better to do. Hold on. I'm gonna unplug it and plug it back in and see what happens. So there will be some disruption here. But it will restart once I plug it back in. Okay, it's unplugged. Plug it back in. We're gonna have to turn it off. See, it's frozen there. Give it a second to think about starting up again. It's it's like a little computer in it that has to reboot when you plug it back in. See that? That's that one there. All right. So then we go to the here. I'm gonna go to this little camera here. We're gonna stream cam, and we go to the stream cam. We're gonna deactivate it, and then activate it. Okay, and notice that it's like I've got autofocus on stuff on. Okay, and now I'm going to try to set its settings, and it kind of worked, but it kind of didn't. I don't know what's going on with it. Some settings kind of, and that kind of worked a little bit. Ugh, this is random. All right, let me put my camera back where I want it. All right, yeah, it's messed up. Oof. It's a piss off. It pisses me off. It puts me in a bad mood. It worked. I've used this setup for 2 years, and it just started randomly. And I guess it's because it's a 2-year-old camera, and that's the limit. But you'd think I'd get more than 2 years out of it. And the way it's failed is so weird because it's still making a picture. It just doesn't want to be in a good picture. This one here. I guess I'll have to change the camera. I'm not going to be able to fix it. Let me try one thing here. Nobody's here, so it's not a big deal. Okay, change to the stream cam view. Click on the logic stream. Click on properties. Configure video. Like if I configure my video, configure video, where is that window? There we go, properties. Make that hard to find. Okay, so brightness, turn the brightness way down. Yeah, why can't I just adjust it like this? Like turn it down to there, apply. Now it kind of looks okay. All right, let's see if it'll stay on. Yeah, I'm causing some instability in OBS somehow magically. All right, let's do the actual sound list. So this thing here, blah, blah, blah. We'll start with say a little prayer, blah, blah, blah. That's what I need to do. why not? If I play around with it, I'm gonna, not be playing piano for a second here. Okay, stream cam, there it is. Logitech stream cam. Configure video. Okay, what is it doing? Brightness compensation 0. Apply. Control. There we go. Perfect. That looks a little bit better. If I had to be that way every time, I'd be happy. All right, keep playing the songs. The songs are Breaking Us in Two by Joe Jackson. Maybe I'll just have to adjust it every stream. Alrighty, well, moving on. I feel better now. I can play some songs. It's relaxing. this. I'm having a fun time playing with my camera. Because I'm actually thinking maybe these will stay permanent. But I want to do is it saturation? Gain is 14. Gain to be about 18. All right, white balance auto. Yeah, I think we want white balance. No, actually. We just want lower than that. Right? Yeah, we want like 4,000. Perfect. Okay. That's looking a little better. I'm having fun. That's the important thing. It's not great yet, but it's 100 times better than it looked like at the start of the stream. Okay, I'm going to adjust the brightness just a little bit here. More or less brightness and contrast. So, okay, that is about as good as I'm going to get it in the short term. All right, where were we? Girl from Ipanema? Sure, why not? Alrighty, okay, we're playing some songs now. Let's spell Stevie Wonder. Oh, my camera! What comes after just the two of us? Misty. Misty Doo. All right, I love Misty for you. Let's do a little Peg, Steely Dan. That's Josie, not Peg. Josie. It's a good song, though. All right. We've only just begun. just begun. I love that song, Poems, for the Carpenters, you know. Got a few more songs I always like doing here. Let's see. Can You Read My Mind while I'm doing Broadway shows or movies? Diet Coke left. Not much though. This stream's powered by Diet Coke, so when the Diet Coke's gone, that's it. That's it. Got plenty left. Yummy. Well. Okay. All right, a few more songs, and that's it for today's show. There'll be more on Friday. I think Friday's next show. That's it for the show. Yay! I mean, got more. I got more left in the tank, as I always like to say around now. But I don't like to overdo it because there's going to be another show on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Friday, basically a day that starts with doesn't start with a T. If it start with a T, how could you possibly? This is a holiday. But yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We'll be doing more flight sim stuff for the first half. There'll be me playing the brain games. Today we did quite well on the brain games. We didn't ace all the brain games, okay? It didn't even do that great on the trivia quiz, but I still consider overall we did okay on the brain games. The brain is working today at roughly 85% efficiency, which is about as good as it ever gets. More efficient than most people's. And then we had a musical session of me whacking away on this keyboard here, right here. Which I always love to do. It's a talent I've got. I've spent a long time playing the piano, so it's nice to be able to perform a little bit. I got my white Schecter guitar lined up, all tuned up and ready to go for tomorrow's stream. Although it may be a guitar stream and it might be a Rocksmith bass stream. That's all we know, or one or the other. So every 3 days we'll be back to the piano. Okay, it's all good. It's all good. All right, so I don't need this anymore. I'm not listening to myself. I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Bye, everybody. See you next time.